Thank you for rejoining us here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the group stages, of course, or at least the first day for ESL One New York. Yes, we're not in New York. We're here at the Cologne studios. Myself and Chad will also have Hugo and Natsu here later on to take us through these first day of games. But Chad, we've been talking about it as well. There's been a bit of hubbub, of course, with the changes that Valve have made in terms of how coaches are going to be integrated and included in games. And our understanding was that this would sort of be the first event where these rules would be actively enforced to a degree. And what's your take on that now that we're actually seeing that this is becoming a reality?
So just for those who aren't aware, the Valve's new rules mean that the coaches can't be in the server, and the coach can only talk within the pauses. Now teams are going to get 4 pauses a match, and they're 30 seconds of pause. So if you planned them out, you could take 2 pauses a half, and you'd have a lot of time to reset. For me, people thought about it as the end of the world, right? You need to look at this coaching thing from 2 different ways. I understand what they want to do. They think an in-game leader is a very important and integral part of the team, so let's try and keep that part of the game, right? The problem is it came in probably a little bit too late. You know, teams have started to establish coaches. Everyone had been talking about coaches as becoming the in-game leader and stuff. So this is where people, you know, are not so happy about the change. But if you dial it back, you take it back to before that, if you went with, okay, so I still think coaches are an integral part. I think they're very useful. They can help with analyzing the opponent's demos, coming up with game plans, coming up with new strategies, keeping players calm, being a voice of reason in times. You know, they also can, there's a lot of things that a coach can do. In this new environment, you're probably going to be seeing like the coach take pauses when they're down in a lot of rounds, and they're going to have that 30-second talk, and they're going to, you know, fix things there and then. If I was going to change anything to the rule, it would be just allow the coaches to talk in freeze time. You know, they call the play before the game, before the round starts, and that's like any other sport. You know, calling the play before you go on.
Sure.
And I could see that could work for me. You know, but running with what we've got right now, I don't actually know if Cuban or Jumpy are there at the event. I assume Jumpy is. Cuban just had a baby. Taz said at Bucharest that he was there with his wife, and that's why he didn't go to that event. So it obviously doesn't affect VP that much if their coach isn't there. They're able to win an event without him. But I think it'll play a big deal for Fnatic because they will be able to use those pauses and use that coach to help settle the newer players in the team.
On that note, let's push this one a little bit further because there's I think an interesting conversation in what teams at this event benefit perhaps, or at least suffer least from this rule being, you know, enforced, and then what teams also stand to having the most to lose from not being able to have a coach so deeply integrated within the round to round.
SK stand out as one who don't really need a coach. They have fallen, arguably the best in-game leader in CSGO history. He's he's a mastermind. I've sat there and I've spoken to him before, and the way that he helps his players understand the way that he wants the game to be played and the system that they use, it makes it a lot easier for him as an in-game leader once everybody's on the same wavelength. Right. That's very important. VP, the ones we're about to see, the same thing. These guys change in-game leader every so often. They all know how, they all understand the same system, and that's why VP can be such a powerful unit. Teams that it's going to hurt, I would probably say, is Na'Vi. You know, they were going to be using Starix as the in-game leader.
It already has hurt them in a way.
Yeah, and now I think that is going to fall to Seized. You know, he hasn't had to do that in the past, and not only is he going to be changing the role in terms of being an in-game leader, like a support player, to an in-game leader, he has to change from being secondary AWPer to a support player and play positions where he has to rotate around the map a lot more. So he's hurt in 2 different aspects. So Na'Vi are going to be struggling a little bit with that. I think that, you know, it won't take too long for him to get to benefit from it, but it takes a while to adapt.
Because I remember back when, before Threat actually came into NIP, when they were having some problems, and then Get Right actually started IGLing, you know, for a lot of the time there. And we saw a protracted drop in performance from him. I mean, it was quite interesting to see as well. We're actually getting the knife pretty much getting started in a moment here, so I'd like to delve a little bit deeper into this conversation, but perhaps there's something more interesting to be discussing on your screens in a few moments. But yeah, I mean, we saw him, you know, personally decrease in sort of what he was able to achieve in his rating. But let's jump in and see how either of these teams are affected. I don't think their coaches are there right now. It's going to be Virtus.Pro versus Fnatic here. The head-to-head looking pretty formidable here. Only one hat on the side of VP, Chad.
The classic Taz hat.
Classic Taz hat. But let's jump into the knife here as well. It is knife for side, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll see how this one goes through. So, yeah, I mean, on the topic of Seized as well, he's sort of struggled in the last 10 games at least, if you look at his ratings. So that's something to keep an eye on, teams now, how they adjust to that. So obviously, Na'Vi are going to be here. We'll see them later on against Liquid at the end of the day. So VP win the knife round here. We'll see what they decide to do if they want to go for the CT to open things up with it. T-side, in my opinion, was the more impressive in their online game against Fnatic recent times. I thought their A-hits were really nicely put together. But also, Taz is one of the people that can play one of the most unenjoyable positions in the whole of Counter-Strike over towards Connector and actually get some fairly good results.
Yeah, they play a style, like they can mix it up between holding drop, which is very difficult because you can be harassed by grenades a lot, and then they do passive, you know, where they let them take drop and then kill them as they're trying to exit the window out the generator side. It looks like VP are going to stay on the CT side, which is quite surprising. I'd consider VP a momentum-based team, right? Once they get on a roll and a rhythm, it really helps them, but they've decided to start on the CT side where things can be a little bit more, you know, systematic. You have to be ready for what the other team's going to do, and once you get on top of the economy, then you can start controlling it, making different moves and stuff, but still surprising for them to pick the CT side.
And we are waiting on them to ready up here at the moment. We've talked about it, you know, everyone should know it. If you've seen plenty of Cobblestone, you know that playing on the CT side can be a little bit troubling because it's hard to really get an idea of what the Ts are doing until they essentially are pushing on towards the site. So there are a lot of strategies that come into play to try and get information as a CT side without losing health or losing teammates or losing weapons for that matter if you are ahead. But we're going to be jumping into this one now. Our first match for the group stage here of ESL One New York. It's Fnatic versus VP who are on the CT side. We're into the pistol.
What do we got here? Who's bought what? All right, looks like VP have got 2 flushes on Neo. He's going to use those flushes to get somebody else to pick for information. So that normally happens towards the B side. You can do some really nice flushes over the top. And Olaf's actually got the utility for the Fnatic side, and it will be a B play, it looks like. Oh, no, it's an A split. The bomb's heading towards middle.
Yeah, just Olaf actually. He's the only man pushing out towards B platform right now, and he has to hope to attract enough attention here, at least maybe get a kill. The P250, we know it can do if he's hitting heads with that thing. So it's going to be a flash. It's likely going to be a peek for information. He does immediately see the peek out on the statue there. What can he do about it though? Passion now just going to pressure now over towards the B platform. Now the push on towards A is occurring. Neo needs to respond to this through Connect, and Passion takes down Olaf on the B side. That's going to free VP up now to go towards A and start to shut Fnatic down, and that is nasty. Taz, Snacks and Neo all over it.
Yeah, with Snacks a day long there, they're able to pincer the players as they come up the mid-ramp, and they're stuck between a rock and a hard place if he stays alive, which he has done, and now Lekro's in a 4v1. Not much hope, I don't think.
No, I mean, really, the bomb is also out in front of him there as well. You can see it over towards the platform, and it will be Pasha to shut him down there as well. A solid start for Virtus.Pro. The tickle of Olafmeister over at B was not enough to distract them for long enough to pull them over there. Good response towards the A. And they managed to come on in with those USPs and do some problems. So now we're going to see a couple of these MP9s brought up here. A P90 in the mix as well. Taz straight up towards the M4. But in general, a lot of SMGs at play here for VP.
Yeah, lots of MP9s there. So hopefully they're going to take on some close-range Tech 9s and P250s with head armor. So they're going to have to make these kills pretty quickly. But it looks like Fnatic are going to go slow. I quite like this play. They're waiting out utility. You know, they're waiting for VP to use their smokes, molotovs, and nades. And then it's just going to be an aim battle. It'll just be pistols versus the SMGs, and who's going to hit the shot first.
Yeah, to see that Fnatic have actually, you know, spent the money on getting themselves a decent amount of armor here. So the penetration power of those SMGs is going to be reduced somewhat. That's going to give Fnatic a fighting chance in this round. But they've only got 2 smokes to work with here. It's an extreme lack of utility. And Fnatic are grouping up here over towards this B platform. As usual, Olafmeister was the first to peek out. Then Neo just spots him as he backs away. Is not able to get much damage across onto him, but still knows he's there.
Pasha's the man here. He's sitting in the archway with the P90, so he's going to have 50 bullets to rain down on the Fnatic players as they try and make their way out long.
And they will. Remember, not much utility here. These smokes, I can see them being tickled right now. Yeah, they're going to be used here just to try and cut off a little bit of the, you know, the retaliation potential here from Virtus.Pro. But now, look at this quick push here. Pasha hasn't seen much, but quickly has to respond. And while it's going to be Neo, Bialik, Pasha all get in there, and a very, very quick one. They lost a couple players there, but they're the ones that brought up SMGs, and Neo made himself a decent amount of money on the backside. So they won't be too disappointed with that. And this puts Fnatic, of course, in a position where they must save.
Yeah, they didn't really do a lot of damage and didn't get the bomb down, so not such a good force buy there. They obviously you don't check that archway on the pistol round. You're trying to get out through the smokes and surprise the CTs, but they were shut down pretty easily. And we're going to have a full Glock eco, and Lekro is just going to upgrade to the P250.
Again, not a lot to work with here for Fnatic. No surprise here. They sort of had their chance the last round to get the way back in, so they had to accept and just resign themselves to the fact that Virtus.Pro are going to get these first 3 rounds relatively without event here. VP, well, actually, Pasha goes for the peak there, gets one, but straight away went in response to him. That's a good situation here for the Ts, at least a decent trade to start things off. Going 1 for 1 for them at this stage, so far behind in weapons, is good, but no, those new rifle sounds are going to trigger everyone there, but it's going to be Neo to come up and pick off Dennis.
Yeah, that was a little off-putting for a second. I wonder what gun it was. I haven't really had a chance to play as Neo's going to mop up 2 more, and Twister's left last alive. This is, it's not a throwaway round, but it's very difficult on a map where the CTs have so much territory to do anything with Glocks. You have to get very lucky with timing, or maybe, you use a pop flash, but Fnatic didn't invest that way. They chose to get a P250 on Lekro. If you get a flash and you do a pop flash strat and you have 5 Glocks rush at a guy, you've got a bit more of a chance to get a kill, but it was, not where they wanted to invest their money this round.
Well, Twist on his own, hope for a little bit of a kill on the backside. He's actually hit 3 of those shots on towards Snax, but at that range with the armor, Snax hardly going to be bothered by it at all. Takes the head off Twist there at long range with the MP9, and that's that first 3 in the back pocket for Virtus.Pro. Now we get a bit serious here. Fnatic can buy, but of course with no plants, they can't really go for an AWP here on round 3, or even a buy on round 4, sorry, or even a buy in the prior rounds. Sometimes you see the round 3 buy. But no, just AKs here, but still the utility to facilitate something. And to be fair, AKs can allow them to be relatively mobile.
They're going to do something pretty quick, I would think. They don't really have a lot of utility to force the players around on the CT side. Not enough. They've already used 1 Molotov out of 2, so not a lot they have left to push the CTs around the map. Oh, Olaf, that's the spot he's known for. Gets Pasha nice and low, but Neo will take him down.
Yeah, it was a good response and much required there from Neo, as Pasha was not in a position where he could re-peak that situation. As the AWPer, it's not too much of a big deal here. His margin of error is just cut a little bit shorter, and Fnatic still seem to be adamant that they want to test on towards this B site. Or at least another smoke, a flash through it there as well. Twist setting up, and now Molotov thrown preemptively here over towards a platform here. This will give Twist pause for thought, but might not stop him entirely. He might even be throwing his own Molotov there to clear the lower side of the platform. Another one comes in, but Twist needs to have none of it. He's going to push on towards the side anyway. That's going to be Neo over there and towards Chicken Coop here. Bialy takes down Lekro. Pasha already down here. So much damage done early on there by Olaf, really helping out. Neo is going to peek this one. He's taken so much damage through the Chicken Coop here, and the USP's not going to be enough. Now a 2v2. Snax. A nade over the top. This could be quite nasty. Dana trying to plant. No! It's not going to happen. The nade does ring true, and now Twist is forced to try and do what his teammate could not. And it's going to be Snax to come around the corner. The 1v2 from the man, essentially, while Taz was still responding, works out beautifully. He has himself an AWP, the Tasman, to bring into the next round.
Neo staying alive there in the chicken coop was amazing. It delayed so much time for his teammates to rotate over and get in position. And then Snax with that nade stopped them in their tracks, and that was all she wrote.
And a pause already coming out here. If our understanding is correct, then obviously there's those multiple 30-second pauses that are available to teams now.
Yeah, it looks like
it's a tech pause.
Technical issue here.
Okay. Well, I mean, what to say so far, Chad? We've seen not a whole lot from Fnatic in those first couple of rounds, and then a glimpse of something. Olaf Meister in classic form, moving over with the AK towards the B platform, trying to test down Pasha, and that damage put on towards Pasha meant that he was going to die very, very early on when actually the push came to shove.
Yeah, Pasha got taken down without able to achieve anything really there. But that plant that they were able to get means they can have another buy round. The issue is, once again, if you want to run a default setup, you kind of need all your utility, right? And we're not going to see them hit that when they only have around 4.2k, which is where we see them sitting. Lekro's only going to be able to buy an AK. He has a decoy. That's all for utility for him. So when you have limited utility, you've got 2 choices. You can either play it fast and try and catch the CTs off guard with a few simple pop flashes, or doing an explosion strap behind like their smoke grenades. So for example would be if they smoke off the B platform, you have a couple of simple set flashes and everybody explodes out from behind it and hopefully catches the CTs off guard and you trade out. That's a bit more random. What you could do is wait out the utility of the CTs, let them go through everything. Use their Molotov, smokes, HGs, and then it becomes an aim battle at the end where who's going to have the better timing, who's going to make the better decision, or who's going to have the better read. I think Fnatic are the type of team who are going to go relatively fast, though. I said that before, and it was a bit of a middle round strat, but I think with this utility, it has to be something relatively quickly. You have to catch them off guard.
We saw Fnatic play in that particular style very, very well against Na'Vi Online recently. When they had that lead, they were more than happy just to bustle in towards bomb sites. On Train, it was over towards the A side. On Dust 2, it was over towards the B. They were more than happy just to go straight for the throat there and try and shake their enemies apart. So Virtus.Pro, we saw a heck of a lot of stall in that last round, though. You saw 1 Molotov come down, and then another, and then a smoke there as well. Eventually, Twist just said, well, bugger this, I'm going to go for it anyway, and he jumped straight on towards the site. So, Virtus.Pro aren't afraid to use that sort of utility. Fnatic want to draw it out, but the problem is that on a map like this, if you want to go towards the B side, drawing out utility means that you're just being stalled by it. It's kind of harder to draw out utility when you sort of want to go towards that site anyway, unless you can use Olaf like they did in that pistol round to try and fake.
Yeah, another issue as well with a player like Snax on the other team, he might get a bit antsy and he will probably push. He's the type of guy, you consider him a bit of a weasel in the sense of he likes to play around the smokes, or he gets good timing on flanks and stuff like that. So if you take too long and he finds an opening, he's going to punish you for it, and you don't want to get punished by Snax, that's for sure.
No, I mean, we've seen what he especially, to be fair, has been excellent of recent times. But to be fair, if you want to roll the clock back a little bit there towards Bucharest, it was actually Bialy and Taz who really lifted to really secure that tournament for them in itself. It was very, very nice performances from that trio. But then, even outside of that, you got Neo, who we know to be consistently beastly, and then Pasha as well, who, to be fair, has been somewhat up and down in recent times here.
I think Neo got the MVP at Bucharest.
Yes. Yeah, I did. I think the reason why it was so notable that some of the other players had lifted is because it had been the Neo show for, so many weeks prior to that one as well, and even online. But we're going to be back into this one now. Fnatic have the buy. It's AKs to come in. And like you said, with this level of utility chat, it might have to be a quick one.
Yeah, it looks like they're happy to keep it slow, though, which is surprising. Maybe they're trying to just settle the nerves and stuff. Olaf's going to find a great pick there under Pasha, and they're in the 4-on-5 situation nice and early.
It's going to be Neo now as well, just having to go and pick up that AWP. An early AWP for the CT side can often yield good results here in shutting down a push. But Olafmeister challenged that with the AK and managed to get the kill out. Yes, it sounds like a glorified Galil. It is an AK. Now, there's a lineup for that one. If you've been watching Simple, you'd know, Neo, that you can actually walk up to the wall on the low side and sort of shoot that one through. But he has to clean peek it and takes half his health as a result.
I think that's a Simple special still at the moment. People who really haven't cottoned on a lot. We've only seen him get it once with all the lineups we've seen him try, but they're just waiting out now, seeing if the Virtus.Pro side are going to go for any more information. But now that Neo has that territory, he can stay where he is.
In a decent spot now as well. They'll need to shake him out somehow. Good shot there. Twist going to try and get it out there, but it's taken down. Neo now as well, wondering what's up on that left side. What else is there? Well, there's going to be Dennis and Olafmeister there just sitting in wait. Neo wants to go for more, or at least he's thinking about it. Eventually, Fnatic have to move. There's 35 seconds left in the round. It is absolutely go time, and Neo's not going to see too much more here out on towards the platform. It might be Dennis to pop flash himself in there or something similar to try and facilitate a push on towards the side. And now Neo's going to have the chance and receive. Be pretty tough there as well. Pressured very, very hard, and now Lekra are going to push forward. It's a 2v2, but they are very, very low health Fnatic players in Virtus.Pro. Shut down, another push. Bialy with 2.
Yeah, I was questioning why Bialy was moving to Chicken Coop there, because he was the one covering off the Gen side of drop for Neo. He's moved to Coop, and then Neo's screwed. The guy has to worry about Long and Gen side, and he got pincered there. Lucky he was able to pick up 2 quick kills and secure the round.
So Fnatic wanted to play a slow round and then eventually had no choice but to push them. And when you don't have the utility to maybe work with, it's kind of hard. And again, they're sort of forced into this one a little bit, Chad. No utility, Dennis on Olafmeister, and Wenton. Twist has a bit, but only has a UMP. This is a bit of a messy one.
This is the explosion I was talking about. The behind the smoke, the flash comes over now. Now we're going to have chaos.
I'm going to push through. Neo going to be the first to receive them on the statue there. Gets one. Twist, though, what's going to be Dennis to respond, in fact, as Bialy's not going to see much action in drop room from behind him, but Olafmeister stands tall on the side, gets himself 2 kills. Snax has to challenge this one out from double doors and finally finds the main aggressor, but is on his own already. Yes, he's got a Molotov and a flash to work with, but there's 3 Fnatic players and the bomb is down. If
he saves here, he can drop... No, never mind. I was going to say he can drop 2 guns next round because they definitely need one for Pasha and Neo. He's still going to be able to drop now, but it's not going to be as good of an economy as they would have had. That's the explosion, right? If you do that, you can catch the CTs off guard. They're making a different read. Maybe they're trying an aggressive pick. Maybe they're setting up for something a little bit different. You explode out. They think you're doing the default as per usual, and all 4 or 5 of you are in their face and dueling. And once you hit shots like that, nice and easy round win.
And just that one round there for Fnatic has given themselves enough to go on to the next. You saw it went quite low. They only had, the 3 players towards the end there, so a couple rebuys in, but still, they've got pretty much all that they need here. On the side of Virtus.Pro, though, perhaps not quite the same story. Neo doesn't have a lot at all, just the P250. And Snax will be AWPing here. We saw Pasha with it earlier on over towards B. But now Snax is in that chicken coop position, and Pasha's playing a bit more close.
Just like to note, Taz is kind of playing the A anchor. I've seen him over at that A long position quite a lot. And that's unusual. We were talking about how good he is at connector. Yeah, it's a bit of a change. Snax has been the solo A guy for a lot of the games I've watched recently.
It could be because Snax is AWPing now as well, maybe preferentially to Pasha in some circumstances. So that's meant we need a bit of a reshuffle here. This is an interesting position. Now, Neo's got himself in a really weird spot here, just outside there. Dennis unsure if he's going to get peeked. Neo just in the corner, if he can hear something, or maybe even if he can catch people out with the P250. This is the way you want to use it. Now, Fnatic are expecting a bit of a pistol force from Virtus.Pro in some ways, and they should be checking this spot, but the smoke comes in. This makes this one a little bit harder to navigate here, and then Pasha turns towards the side.
They haven't checked him. Oh. Neo.
Wenton just gets the turnaround, gets the shot in, but now Dennis also going to get one kill on towards the side. That's Taz falling. Pasha has to respond here, but Flash as soon as he gets down from Juliet. The spray, it works on towards Olafmeister now, and now Bialy and Snacks are on site, but will it be enough? It's just the AWP and the M4 now to work with, and Fnatic have control. They've got the bomb down, there's a smoke towards the double doors, and Bialy has to work out of this vent room.
Bialy's in a good spot here to find the mid-ramp player, but will he expect it? It looks like he's cleared it, and he's going to make his way out now towards the truck. Wenton, the full HP player, is going to find Snacks, and now Bialy, 1v3 situation. A lot of work to do here.
Yeah, got 3 angles to worry about there. There was going to be a player to challenge eventually from long, and Fnatic shift gears a little bit more this time. The new Virtus.Pro lacking guns or money in some regards, and Neo wasn't able to get anything done with the P250 pushed up close in mid. Fnatic start to build. Virtus.Pro now be forced to save.
Yeah, and they have to take a full save as well. You know, they can upgrade a couple of pistols, but if they want to have utility going into the next gun round, they have to be pretty conservative, and it looks like they're keeping 4 USPs.
And a stack as well for VP over towards the B site now. Hopefully they're not spotted out in this and that, you know, Fnatic can't sniff it out, but they've got 3 Fnatic players slow rolling over towards A long here. And they're not going to find too much. Now, sure, they're going to expend a bit of utility because Fnatic know we're going to have Virtus.Pro playing in here with pistols. We're going to need to Molotov some corners. We're going to have to check the hay bales. We're going to have to check the race platform on A along for someone just sitting in sneaky spots. But eventually, they're going to find out there's not much there for VP. Neo has drifted over towards that A side, though. We've got Wenton and Twist here in danger.
Yeah, they're sending out that scouting party towards A to see whatever they can find. The problem with Cbble is there's a lot of close corners to check, and you don't have enough utility to actually close it all, so you start requiring trade kills. I like doing like a set B execute as an anti-eco onto that site, because what you can do is you can isolate so many places with smokes, use Molotovs to compensate, but heading towards A are Fnatic.
And VP have drifted over. They've got a few players here at A, but it's going to be Twist comfortably enough there to get the spray down. The second is there. The third is not, though. Taz comes in with a USP. Eventually, he will be refragged out, and now Bialy has to challenge from a bit of a compromising position. Snacks is over in towards the halls. He's nowhere even close to this one, and Lekro picks him off there as he himself goes hunting. So Virtus.Pro go the full save. It was interesting to see their maneuvers actually across the map. They didn't commit just to one side. It wasn't a full B stack. They all went there first just to see if it was going to be another fast push. And then Neo drifted across, and then 2 more players drifted across towards A.
Yeah, just some kind of read that's been made or information or noises that they've heard. So not a lot you can only do with those USPs. You have to get very lucky and hope that the Ts mess up in a big way, but pretty comprehensive there.
Well, now, it's going to be a buy back in for VP. It's not a lot, but it's going to be enough. If they want to stall out, they can do that, but Fnatic might not let them. This is fairly common. Olafmeister goes forward first. He's going to try and open this side himself. Flash comes in, forced him to turn towards the side here, and VPR unloading a little bit of that scant utility they brought into the round. Neo has to be careful how he picks this statue, but his timing is very, very good. He finds Dennis, quickly traded out, though, and so Bialy here on this B side. He does well, gives an account of himself, sprays down on towards the side, will be pressured, and he's trying to back away here. Lekro's not able to catch him because the Flash came in at a good time, and now VP can play the retake with 3.
Yeah, they've set up a pretty good afterplan situation here. Wenton behind the statue and Olaf on the platform are the insurance policy. Lekro's up the front doing whatever he can to force the CTs away, and they are going to save here. The thing is, I wonder if the switch up of Taz towards A has been like a counter strat or a read or something by VP, because the way that they normally play this map is very successful. It's strange that they're changing up right now.
So you're saying we often see Snacks as that player over towards A long?
Yeah, he's normally the guy who solos it, and he's playing around the mid smoke or towards A long and stuff. And then we have Taz towards connector. We've seen him there so many times under that window getting multi-frags. And then it's Neo who is the player who helps out that A side. But, you know, it's a bit of a change. Maybe they're just going for something different, trying to catch Fnatic off guard.
And with Snacks picking up the AWP more and more in recent times, is it possible that Virtus.Pro just prefer to have that presence of the AWP over at the B side that maybe might necessitate Taz to fill gaps in here? We haven't seen Snacks play with an AWP at A at all, but maybe that's still forthcoming. 5-4 here. Virtus.Pro start off very, very strong, but Fnatic broke their economy early and are back in black. It's going to be a max 7 for Pasha. We know he likes to go for this one. We know where he's going to stand with it. Now, if Fnatic have read into the fact that Virtus.Pro is still building economy, they may well be prepared to see him there. This time, they're not sending Olafmeister super deep out towards that crate to start off. He would be very susceptible to Pasha if he did so.
There is a hole in the way that Fnatic are holding this A push. Wenton's just looking through the little window near Dragon Law. So that means if you were to push out A long, you would know that there's nobody watching it. He's checking, you know, every now and again, but all the information would be in the favor of VP if somebody got the balls and pushed it. But at the moment, they're all sitting pretty reserved. Snacks and Taz playing together at the A long, and Fnatic are just biding their time.
It's a flash over the top here, a little bit of buying time, but Olofmeister turns it around and says, see you later. Then Pasha responds in kind. He gets the headshot there with the Mag 7. And what range, I don't even know. I don't even know if I even saw Olofmeister through the smoke, but you better believe the Biceps man did. And now, a couple more of those coming in on towards the site. A few more smokes being used out by Fnatic. They've got the Molotovs here. They still want to try and pressure Pasha, and this is a good opening. The flash might not be too bad. He wants to come back and challenge this one, but he himself was kind of flashed up. Tries to go for the jump shot, but his head is removed by Lekro. And now it's 3 for Fnatic, and, or 4, should I say, for Fnatic, and now 3 for VP. They've only got 2 on the site right now. Bialy cut down, Molotov goes out in front, and Snax also falls. As Dennis coming in with the AWP, and Taz has to salvage this one. It's around the VP really need to get, but it's not going to be happening. And Fnatic, they put up 5 on the trot to respond to the opening rounds of Virtus.Pro.
Yeah, they've done a great job to turn it around here, and we're going to probably see an eco out of Virtus. They tried to force buy into that last one there, but, you know, Mag 7, the old Scout, they're not fantastic. Oh, they are buying. Never mind.
What do you think about this? The utility's pretty strapped again. Is that a big problem for you?
Not really with the way that Fnatic are playing it. They're kind of waiting out the clock anyway, so they don't need that utility to stop rushes. Fnatic haven't shown that they want to play this super quickly. They are going to wait out, you know. Oh, nice shot by Snax there. Early pick on Olof again. Olof's gone down quite early. He's only sitting on 5 kills and he's died 9 times.
That was good flash timing on him as well.
Yeah, so they're able to get that pick, and now you can rotate that AWP around. Even more aggression here above drop. This is what you do when you're lower on utility, right? You have to take more map control, take a few more risks and stuff, and do team-related things. But they are thinking that there could be somebody up there, because that was a deep drop smoke.
Flash in. Bialy going to have to be quick with the famous at close range. It's the head going off of Twist. He even gets an AK. Wants to re-smoke, but it'll be challenged out by Lekro. At least the 1-for-1 here, but Fnatic are only down to 3 players. Lekro sees a couple of blokes in the bottom of drop there and decides that he's had enough of that little stash and will try and back away. Virtus.Pro, a little bit of aggression. The AWP early over towards platform, and then the player up into drop. It's just set Fnatic off kilter a little bit in this round, but they must recover.
Looks like they want a B split here. You know, they're running out of time. 2 players towards long, and now Lekro's in drop. Snax has been pushed away. Well, he's not in drop yet. He's almost in drop. But Snax loves to play in these smokes, so you wouldn't want to get too close to it.
Yeah, we'll be waiting as well for Lekro if he does drop down. Winter now pushing on towards B platform though, so Pasha gonna have to be quick to act. Perfect stuff, that's exactly what you need from the man. Make it 2 for Pasha, having a bit of a rough first few rounds, and now Lekro's got no choice but to stand and deliver, but it's gonna be Pasha delivering a salvo to the man's dome, and that's gonna get VP back in this one. A bit of a risky force, didn't have a lot of utility, but that early aggression from VP. Chad not only gets some information, but also a great little man advantage.
Yeah, it's great to use Snax like that. They used him for that first pick, and then they moved him somewhere else on the map where he could potentially be more effective. That's something you have to do with the AWP, is, you know, take a line, move to a new one, and you're going to constantly surprise those Ts. We only saw him get to use it that once, but, you know, the theory was good behind it. Problem is right now for VP, if they get that hard reset, it's probably going to be a half win for Fnatic.
Yeah, they don't want that at all. They were very much scraping at the bottom of the barrel to try and get themselves a different buy-up in the last round, and even this one hasn't been stellar despite winning the previous one. So, Taz is going to have to do some work here. One will probably do the job here for the moment for VP, especially with the info that was managed to be gained off of that one. Snax is a little bit too late here with this peeking towards danger, and now I have to rotate back a little bit here towards the stables to receive this push. It's a flash. 4 players from Fnatic flashed up, and for safety, Snax is going to smoke behind him, allow him to control this peak area a little bit more, and this could be nasty for Fnatic if they walk straight into it.
Yeah, they're kind of loitering here on this mid-ramp, allowing the CTs to set up. Neo only has an MP9, so he's not going to be able to do a lot to help out, but Snax will grab one, grab a second.
How does he turn around though? Because Olof is creeping, he's coming for him. It is a little bit too late. The smoke by Snax was pretty expertly laid, and Olof takes a bit of damage even on the peak there. He's down to 17. It's going to be just a little bit of breath of air in the direction of him to take him down, but he at least gets on towards Bialy. Now in Olofmeister's position, you brought down to about 500 in this particular round. You can't save this gun. You really hope to try and get a little bit of damage done back in response.
Yeah, look, if he can grab one more kill, that's fantastic work. They'll force into the next round, and the economy of the CTs will still be pretty poor. But to find another kill on 17 HP, maybe he'll let them... Sure, never mind. Pasha will finish him off from behind.
We've had a few of those moments already this game, haven't we?
Everyone loves it from behind.
Yep. Well, in that case, definitely seems to be the way. 7-5 here. So Virtus.Pro with 7 CT rounds already on the board. A bit of a break back after losing their economy early on. If you didn't see that, if you just joined us, welcome. Snack's going to be buying into the AWP, or at least have that one back again. Used it really nicely in that last round. A couple of little peaks there. I like the cheeky smoke behind him just as a safety. That was well timed. And now Fnatic, 2 Tech-9s are in the mix here for them, and a bit of utility. We see Wenton. When Wenton's at the 4, it's normally a fast play. If it's Olofmeister, usually they're just using him to open things up. So keep that in mind now as a flash comes over. Pasha Bit of a one-and-done spot here, commits himself to the corner, but Neo's been covering him quite nicely. Pasha goes for a peek on towards Wenton and loses out immediately there, so he must have been spotted early or just completely fluffed his lines when he went out for that pick. Neo, well, he's getting down and dirty. It's a messy fight for him there, but he gets another kill out of it, even though he goes down to 15. This is that fast tip that Fnatic used so well against VP, even from a weaker economic standpoint, but now it's just Lecro standing after Taz finds him through the smoke.
They dealt with that a lot better. They weren't caught off guard by that explosion strategy, which they did earlier. And yeah, Neo staying alive and grabbing a couple frags on low HP. It's a huge play from him. Wenton, as the entry fragger, seems to be doing work. He's finding kills onto the site. He's opening up rounds. Whereas when they're trying to use Olaf, I think he's 50-50 so far for grabbing the frag or dying first. So maybe just stick with Wenton on that entry and get him in there.
Yeah, curious match for Olafmeister here. 6 for 11.
Lots of debate, yeah, about him returning to his previous form. They are going to just pistol buy into this. They should have enough to get a few AKs up next round.
You talked about this, the B execute when you're sort of in a pistol 4 scenario here, try and go for a bit of fast play, a bit of aggression, shake people out. Neo spotted them, Olafmeister can't tag him up, and Pasha is going to be able to pick him up through the smoke there. Now, it's not as if Fnatic were trying to use Olafmeister as a bit of a fake or a bait here. They are going to come through, drop, and Biali's going to have to receive this one. He gets 2, not a third, though, as Dennis is going to be able to take him down, but that's going to take the wind out of Fnatic's sails. Lecro trying to tap away there with the Tech 9, almost cheekily into the distance. It's not going to pay off for him. But Dennis has salvaged himself an M4 here. Smoke goes up. The bomb is still out of his grasp right now. Fnatic. Yeah, we're going to struggle to go and get over towards that one here as well. 9-5 here. VP 9 rounds already on their CT side, which is a vast improvement on the way that they played out this particular side last time these two met. And Fnatic, I don't know, Chad, I don't feel like we've seen just a whole lot of greatness from them here. We've seen, you know, a decent breaking of VP's economy with a rush round on towards B, but since then we haven't seen, you know, your Olafmeisters, your Twists really get into the game. Yeah,
Twist has been really quiet. It surprises me that they haven't got him to pick up the AWP yet. They have 3 competent AWPers on this team, and I'd probably lean towards Twist as the main AWPer, but, you know, they only had a couple of rounds there where their economy was good enough to get an AWP, and that was on Dennis. So, Fnatic have done good to get 5 considering the start that we've seen, but right now VP are looking like they're in full control, and they got everything they need for this last round.
Here's your boost on B platform. What you can hear right now is Pasha and Neo spraying in towards that smoke there as well.
Unless you thought we were playing a new game, which I couldn't blame you. It's okay, I don't mind. So people get up in arms about the new sounds and stuff, but at least they're doing something.
They do sound strange though. I mean, well, I think they're probably more realistic to be honest. But I mean, I like the AWP sound. I don't mind the AK.
They're quieter. Like the rifle sounds, the new like M4 and AK sounds are actually quieter now. So like you should be able to hear more footsteps and stuff while you're shooting. Apparently, that's what Reddit told me. Whether or not they're lying. Let's just talk about this, right? Taz has been really quiet, but he's been in a position that he never usually plays, and they've hardly gone to him. So people looking at the stats going, oh, Taz is having a shocker. He hasn't had to do a lot, right? He's only died 6 times, where, you know, in the last round of the half. So this is where stats can be misleading people.
Oh, Neo challenges the boost spot out quite nice there. Dennis falls, so now Olafmeister, he's going to have to swap his Galil in for an AK. He gets that one out, and was Lecro that peeks in towards Biali. Not the first time a VP player's got a little bit too cavalier trying to go in towards drop and set something up, and now Neo, a little bit of a step back, a little bit of a spray down, just going to mix them in quite nicely, weave them together, and that's going to be Fnatic falling apart here. It's just Olafmeister now can't get much done. It's going to be Neo to pick him up, and that is the half. It's 10-5 in favor of VP. A solid start from them here on their first map of the event.
Too easy for Neo. That's another 4K for him. Then just keep coming in at B. He just moves around that statue. He's just making a lot of frags, making it look really easy. You see the adjustment from VP there as well. When they lost those 5 rounds in a row, I believe it was on both of those rounds, they had lost a pick at B platform. Their adjustment was move away from that B platform, maybe play safer around the stairs. They even pulled Pasha back on this last gun round into the site. So they played it safer. They knew that the strat that Fnatic was going for was a flash over the top and bust out. When you bust out and you can't find a close opening kill and the rifles are sitting back in one of, 50 different spots, it's like shooting ducks with the CTs. And Neo as well, being a master, getting the frags he needs, and we're going to be going into the second half already. Yeah,
so of course, here's some of your highlights from the first half here. Twist, of course, a bit of an occasion for him on A long, but that was one of the few passages of play that he managed to get decent kills. And this was the push for Fnatic a couple times there as well. So a couple highlights so far have really shown VP just holding solid. So yeah, we waste no time, Chad. No break at halftime here. We're not about that life anymore. It's going to be VP now come in. Double flash for Neo. We'll see what they can do with those.
Yeah, Neo's distracting the platform here, but the push is going to come from drop, and they're in nice and quick. These Glocks being used at close range. Haven't been able to find anything right now, but they are spilling onto the B site.
Yeah, good damage on towards Dennis early on. He gets dinked up, and Bialy finds Olofmeister. Now Lekor going as well. Dennis can't do anything at close range. How is he going to stand up to the Glocks getting in his face? Good start here for VP, and this is what they want. It's Wenton with 13 through the door. All right then. Pasha falls down. And Wenton, though, is going to be spoiled for choice, and not in a good way, ladies and gentlemen. 4 players still between him and the bomb that he needs to defuse, and Twist having no better luck. Immediately headshot as he tries to push out. Yes, he gets on towards Neo, but now he's in a 1v3. Again, the door work, the woodwork coming in quite nicely here for Fnatic, but again, big odds to play up against, and eventually Bialy's going to put this one to bed. It's 11-5, and VP winning that pistol while ahead will put this one in a bit of a dangerous situation for Fnatic.
We've seen a lot of teams struggle once they get to this point. You know, they've grabbed the pistol, and then we always see them lose the following round. I want to see VP do something fast, you know, catch Fnatic off guard and get this round. That's what you want to see happen, you know, fundamental counter-strike being used to its fullest. But anything's possible in CSGO, and these pistols being as powerful as they are, and the Scout being able to do 70 damage per hit, it's a pretty good combination for the CTs.
Triple Mac 10 for Virtus.Pro.
The gangsters. They're on the streets of New York.
Exactly. They'll make themselves a little bit of extra cash money there, but Twist manages to capitalize on Wenton's early damage on Snacks with just one shot to the chest with the Scout. That will be enough to get it done. Flash in, Olofmeister had to suffer the same fate last round. He's going to back away here, only with the CZ, but a good amount of damage sprayed on early. It's going to be Neo. To back away a little bit. He had a teammate there as well, but Olofmeister doesn't give a damn. He gets 2. No, Pasha kills Taz there. The team kill comes through. Interestingly enough, there, Pasha at least trying to make up with it with a dunk nade in towards Olofmeister. It works out, but he's on 1 health. Bialy has to lift here. He's gotten 2, and now it's going to be Dennis 1v2 with an AK to work with.
This is going to get tight. If Bialy goes down here, the 1v1 could go in favor of Dennis. 1 HP on Pasha.
Oh, wow. The cheeky man comes out as headshots with the Mac 10. Some ballsy play coming away from Virtus.Pro. You said that round is one that teams often lose, the one following the pistol. You know, when they do come in, the risky round when they take the SMGs and have to get up close and personal. And Virtus.Pro almost messed it up, but they get away with it there. Neo so far, an excellent game for him, 21-12. But Pasha saving that round. I believe it was Bialy there as well with a couple AK shots. That was very, very important to salvage the situation, which was going south very, very fast for VP.
Yeah, when you're in that situation and the CTs, they had the man advantage. It was a 2v4. You just want to get your bodies in there to help your teammates as quickly as possible. Bialy was having none of it, just stripping them down with that AK from long range. And they are going a fast mid play here, taking down Twist and Wenton nice and easily, and they should be able to get onto that site pretty quickly.
Fnatic trying to descend upon Virtus.Pro at multiple points as they pushed up the ramp there, but none of them finding any kills, and it's obviously very, very clean save for Fnatic as they have to behave themselves in these next few rounds to give themselves a chance of bringing the game back. So Olofmeister will be patiently waiting in towards vent room now. I'll push in, should net him a kill if he can hit towards the head, especially when you've got Neo and Taz as low as they are. Snacks wants to test here towards the door.
Any extra kills right now for Dennis and Olof mean extra grenades going into next round, so they're just going to cheekily farm whatever they can. But Bialy will rip off the head of Dennis, and Snacks will push through the vent and peekaboo on Olof. The thing that I want to mention right now is the money situation right now for Fnatic is that they aren't going to have that full utility that I talk so much about. That's the thing I harp on about the most. Now, if you were VP, you can do 2 things again. Wait out the utility, or you can go fast and catch them off guard. And when you need to kind of decide how you're going to use your utility when it's limited on the CT side. You know, you can't just throw it at the start of the round if you're not expecting a rush. This is where the in-game leader or, you know, instincts and stuff come really into play of how you're going to expend that utility. And it looks like a slow round from VP.
Although the AWP was quickly in position. Oh, Snacks. All right. Takes a bit of damage off him. Oh, dear. Olof now being boosted up on towards his tree position, and Wenton and Twist have just lurked back over towards A, so they're satisfied for the moment that it's not going to be a full-on balls to the wall push towards B. Twist won't be seeing too much here. I mean, Neo, again, sort of, you know, what we expect to see from him there as well, often playing that A role. We'll just be going with the Mac 10.
Yeah, the good thing is if he finds Dennis, Twist, or Wenton who don't have the head armor, he can strip them apart with that Mac 10. So,
and guess who's on this A site?
Yeah, it's going to be a long-range battle at the moment, though. He's got a lot of territory to close down before he can actually find an opponent. But the main hit is still towards B.
Yeah, what can he do to simulate more presence than just his own? That's the question. But Dennis, he tries to go aggressive towards Pasha, but it's almost as if the man was waiting. He receives, he gets the headshot on towards Dennis, but doesn't see Olofmeister up in the tree. He then can jump down. Go for another challenge on towards Snacks here from behind the statue with 3 players from VP stacked up. Then Neo gets Wenton over at A, by the way. I think he pushed in towards Connector, but we'll catch up with that one now as he also finds Olafmeister after picking it up. Neo is cutting Fnatic to pieces here. He pushed on towards A. He had a Mac 10. He gets himself 3 kills by the end of the round and completely opens it up himself.
Neo's having an absolute ball terror. That timing there was fantastic. He heard the rotation, pushed into Connector, killed the rotator from A. The other A player was completely isolated at that point. He had to push through Neo.
He's not supposed to do anything. Here's a Mac 10 playing long angles on A and still gets that done. It's insane.
Yeah, just 3 kills, you know. Just Neo things. This is going to be a fast B play, I think, because Neo's whacked out that early smoke and... No, it's not a B play at all. I should look at the radar. That'd help. I'm new to this still, people. The bomb's over towards A. They're simulating a fast B player, using a lot of utility right now, putting pressure on drop, putting pressure on pad, but it's all a ruse as the bomb will slowly make its way over to A long.
And this is Twist and Wenton. They were rotating very quickly. They might have spotted the smoke in towards mid. So Twist is going to stay, Wenton will go. Now this is VP's bread and butter. They get the first kill on Twist, they smoke out Connector, they smoke out the vent room, and they have control of this site. This is their absolute standard play. They're going to do it right now. So they get the first kill, they're going to push across. They're going to lay some utility now to lock Fnatic out of the site. So Molotov going over towards Juliet, but Wenton's lucky to avoid it. It's going to spill though over on towards his feet, but he's going to get aggressive. Now Fnatic want to go for the retake. It's going to be Tazin with the AK. Dennis gets himself a second. Wenton at close range with the AWP. It's just Neo, the savior of last round. Can he do it again? He's in a 1v2. And now he needs to get towards the bomb. There's still 2 players to deal with. Olaf towards his left and Dennis towards his right. And here we are, stuck in the middle with the man. And the bomb not planted yet. Neo needs to pick this fight well. He sees Dennis, doesn't quite get the shot. This should alert Olafmeister now, who's not really in position yet to actually get a crossfire. So Fnatic is still setting this one up at the moment. And Neo looking for his options there, eventually going to get taken down. Neo, we've seen him on multiple occasions win 1v3 clutches around that armored car. But this time, the bomb sort of dictated a bit of too much movement from him now. We're going to see a pause coming out.
Yeah, if this is a tactical pause from Fnatic, it's a good one. They need to sort out their economy and they need to kind of get a read on what the Ts are going to do or what they think they're going to do or what kind of aggressive play that they can use because they're still on the back foot. VP has full control of the economy. This is where they can reset Fnatic and that's basically game over. So this pause, you know, considering how many they get, I like it. It gives them a chance to assess the situation, have a talk, have a breather, work it out, and hopefully go into this next round a little bit stronger.
I love that aggressive push from Fnatic on towards A there. So
yeah,
with that money...
around. That was a good quick retake, good response to the VP play. Just touching on that play that they did, that was a bit of an adaptation. They like that contact play in A long. They normally do it with 4 players and 1 player towards the B site lurking. This way they made it look like a B rush. They used the smokes that they would use on the B rush, faked it out and went towards A. Unfortunately, Fnatic had the read on it. They were nice and quick on that retake and used some good flashes. And
it's almost as if the lack of high-level weaponry for their Fnatic. I mean, we saw, I think Dennis had a CZ or something, sort of facilitated them in actually getting aggressive there as well. Virtus.Pro were not ready for it all. They're actually used to having a clean side in after the first or maybe that second kill to screen off. But still, they buy in. They've got themselves an AWP here. Be Snacks. Not going to get boosted up this round. Or maybe a later one here for Pasha. Yeah, he's going to come in a little bit later, so... On the B side, though, no one playing up close here for Fnatic. They've actually got decent enough weapons that allows them to play the longer angles. It's only Lekro here with the UMP, and he's playing on drop control, so...
Yep. Well, there's actually another Swede who we saw first do this was Flusher, who just loved it. He'd always be using the UMP and drop. And Lekro's carrying the torch over.
Well, he's throwing it as well, there. That was actually forcing Taz and Neo away. They've taken a little bit of damage from that Molotov and the initial utility being used.
We need to talk about the read right now from Fnatic. They've actually stacked 3 players over towards the A side and left Lekro and Olaf on their own towards the B. The B side of the map.
For you?
It's risky, and because I can see everything right now, it's a terrible read. So head on over back to B, boys.
I guess, you know, we have to wonder what exactly Fnatic are playing off of for information. They didn't see the result of Lekro's Molotov thrown here in towards drop. They didn't know there was 2 players already ready to descend down. It looks like Wenton's going to come back now for the moment. Molotov goes down. Lekro, good timing on the flash. Perfect. Going to mean very, very hard. But Taz just sprays through, but he doesn't care. Lekro falls. Dennis now with smoke all around him. He needs to play the close contact here. But Olafmeister gets himself 2 here from Chicken Coop. Looking for a 3rd. He's not going to have it, though. Snacks shuts him down. And this is Twist. And this is looking bad for Fnatic. This is match point coming up. If they don't get this man in a 1v3 to take it away. And Twist, well, the bomb's going to be planted in a few moments. And he has to challenge here from such a wide angle. Snacks just ready to receive him. And Fnatic, it's been a bit of a lackluster opening here to ESL One New York. And last chance saloon for them. Not a lot of money to work with either. What a nightmare.
Yeah, their economy is so far in the bin right now. They're going to need to pull out a massive play here. or it's going to be a massive misplay by VP for them to be able to have anything in this round. There's nothing going for them right now.
I can hear it in your voice. Yeah, you almost sound broken for Fnatic's plight.
Yeah, I was more looking at Twist, and before the game I was like, I think Twist can be a fantastic player. Like, he has some really great moments. He's huge multi-fragger, he's great AWP, he's got good instincts and stuff, but this game he's been completely negated. He only has 6 kills. He hasn't had any impact on this game as far as I'm aware, like maybe 1 or 2 frags that have helped him get rounds early on, but I'm sure if he didn't get him, someone else would have.
He got like a 2 or 3K on a long in one of the rounds, and that was like the majority of his rounds for the half.
Yeah, that was versus Nico.
Yeah, so that's kind of, even, you know, without being harsh on Twist, that scoreline might even be more flattering than it should be.
Oh, punished.
Doesn't get much. Twist, though, okay. Gets Pasha. He actually has some backup here as well. I don't know if they're going to follow up into this one with the CZs. There's going to be Taz, though, that shuts him down. There's still one more player. He does eventually fall. That was Wenton trying to challenge out there. I think there was an AWP drop there. So Stacks could use an AK, or either way, they still have the AK to work with. That's the point. Lekro through smoke. There's so many people there, and he couldn't tell. There was too much smoke in his way, and it's going to be Virtus.Pro in fact to take it through. Comfortable win for them here in this first map. Of course, it's just the best of 1 here when we go through our first phase. So that's a good start. There will go 1-0 Fnatic. Will be 0-1. These 2 teams later on will move on to face the other teams that have the same win-loss record as them.
That was a really good map by VP. This is, like I said earlier, one of their home maps, and they're looking good. You know, they're looking like they have some good form going on, and Neo's carrying that Bucharest form over here to New York. That's exciting to see. If the Neo of old is back to stay, VP's even more dangerous than we've ever seen them before.
So, of course, a big factor of this map being won, as well as VP's, you know, winning these pistol rounds out comfortably. But where else are Fnatic going wrong here? We saw them, you know, manage to pull back a few rounds in that first half there as well to try and make it competitive. It was 5-5 at one point, and then they just completely went off the map.
They looked very one-dimensional. They didn't have a lot of strategies going on. They tried a few things towards A, it didn't really work, and then they stayed just towards that B side of the map. They didn't have many rounds that had full utility. The executes, we only saw maybe 1 execute, and it wasn't fantastic. One of the smokes missed, I believe. They needed to change up the way that they were approaching the game, because VP adapted and they didn't. So, you know, we took in Fnatic rusty or just purely untested. I mean, I can't really say rusty, but, you know, untested, still need to sort of nut down some of these things a little bit closer. Yeah, they're always evolving. It's going to take time for them, you know, especially this is where the in-game leader is so important, to be able to take that pause or take a pause earlier and talk about adapting. They didn't take a pause in that first half. So, you know, that pause could have helped them when they were struggling. Once you get that run of rounds in the middle section, though, you kind of have hope, and you wait out a few rounds to see if you can bring it back to what you were doing before. But when it doesn't happen, you've only got, you know, 2 or 3 rounds left to work with, and that's not a lot of time to fix issues. And this was, of course, some of the replays back through the match here, just that first half there where VP got himself a solid 10 rounds on the CT side, able to receive a lot of these pushes from Fnatic, and Neo himself having some great moments there as well, cutting straight through. The second half, not much to report there. VP winning that pistol out there pretty much sealed the deal for Fnatic, and they weren't able to get too much more there at all. So that one being done, I mean, any surprises to you here? Anything that maybe you weren't expecting to see? Fairly cut and dry? Just the change of Taz towards A. That's strange. I wonder if they'll carry that through in the other matches for VP. Fnatic, you know, we didn't know what to expect. So I'm not going to say, oh, they played terribly, because we didn't know if they were going to be playing good like we saw in the online form versus Na'Vi, or if they were going to crumble. At this stage, it's still too early. They have a lot more matches to play. They have at least 2 more games, I believe. So I hope to see better things out of Fnatic, because I've seen the potential of them online. Sure. Maybe they can hope for a better map for them, maybe like a Train or a Dust 2 or something like that. And we'll see what teams they'll be going up against as we pass through a couple more of these matches. But guys, if you want to keep track of everything that's happening here at the ESL One New York group stages, get yourself your hands on the Score Esports app. It's for your iPhone and Android devices. You can get it over at the iPhone store, or of course the Google Play Store. Get around that one. That's where all your updates are going to be this weekend. It's the place to go, the one-stop shop for all your updates on ESL One New York. After the break, we're going to be back. It's going to be G2 versus Astralis here in this first round of the Swiss. Let's see how they're faring.